Hello, this is Kate from dailytarotgirl.com, and this is your weekly tarot card reading. And for this week's reading, I'm using a classic deck, using the Universal Waite Tarot. Okay, so I'm going to draw 3 cards. Each card is going to represent a portion of the upcoming week. And before we dive into the reading, I just want to let you know that I am going to be offering 2020 New Year's Tarot readings for the month of January. So I only offer private readings twice a year, in the summer and in January. So if you would like to get a reading from me, now is the time, and I'll put a link to where you can find out more about that in the description box below this video. Okay, so the first card that we have is for Monday and Tuesday. And we have the Ace of Pentacles, and I love it when we get an ace right at the beginning of the week. So the Ace of Pentacles in many ways shows that the beginning of this week will be a fresh start, and it's a chance to really plant a seed. It's the start of something. We'll have the opportunity to start something. But this is about taking baby steps towards something bigger. So when I look at this card, it feels like we'll have the opportunity to, instead of taking like a huge, obvious stride towards something, we'll have the opportunity to plant a seed, to take a small step towards something that eventually may turn into something bigger. So that feels really exciting. A couple other things that stand out to me about this card. This card to me is about finding your path and getting clear on the direction that you want to go in and what's important to you. It's a very earthy card. So this is about, I suppose it's about blending the spiritual with the practical. So getting a sense of what your purpose is, what's important to you, what kind of life's work you want to be involved in, what your path is, getting kind of a sense of that, and then taking real world, daily steps towards that thing. And that's how you make it practical. That's the daily practical, baby step process towards something. I also feel like the beginning of the week, you may be offered something. It could be an opportunity. It could be a new job. But there's something that's going to be offered to you, or you'll just have the opportunity to plant that seed and to start something new. So the middle of the week, Wednesday and Thursday, we have a moon. What's interesting is we have this big glowing disc here, and then that becomes the moon. So there's some definite similarities with these 2 cards. And also we see the peaks of mountains here, and there's almost a similar peak over in the background of the moon. And in both cards, there's a path. So there's a path in the Ace of Pentacles, and there's a path in the moon. So both of these cards are so similar in that there's mountains in the background, there's a path, which I think symbolizes, a destination and a journey. And then we have the glowing yellow orb or glowing yellow sphere in the sky. So I'm not sure exactly what to make of that at this point, but let's talk about the moon a little bit and what it might mean for us. So the moon is a major arcana card, and it's really probably one of the most mysterious cards in the tarot. I think the High Priestess is another really mysterious card. And there's, a couple other ones, but I really feel like the moon is the ultimate mystery card. It tells us that things are never the way they seem on the surface, that there's hidden influences, there's subconscious or unconscious aspects that are always at play. There's always more going on under the surface than there is above the surface. So you always want to keep that in mind, especially this week. Know that what you see is not always what you get, and this is true of people, of relationships, of jobs. This is true of ourselves. There's so much going on with us on an unconscious and subconscious level that we're not even aware of, let alone, other people that we meet in relationships and things. So, and I mean, also, if you think about the whole world of energy, when we look around, we see physical things, but we're not even aware of the other energetic dimensions and things that are happening. We just see one dimension or one aspect of things. We don't see all the other things that are happening. So what does this really mean? How is this relevant to us this week? How can we make this card practical? The moon really encourages you to pay attention to those hidden realms of your life. So your dream life is one hidden realm, and your dreams are like a doorway, like a gateway to your unconscious and your subconscious parts of yourself. It's also a gateway to your intuition and your psychic senses. So really pay attention to your dreams this week. And I'm curious to know what the moon is doing. I'm usually more in tune with what phase the moon is in, but for some reason right now I can't. I don't remember what's happening. I don't think it's going to be a full moon, but pay attention to what the moon is doing this week. And what's beautiful about the moon is it's cyclical. And when you're in tune with the moon, which clearly I'm not because I have no idea what the moon's doing right now, but when you're in tune with the moon, you can really work with the phases of the moon. So when the moon is waxing, when it's building up to a full moon, this is a time to be building your energies, to be working on projects, trying to manifest things, etc., etc. And then when the moon is full, that's like the prime time for manifesting things, making things happen. That's a high energy time. And then as the moon starts to wane, this is where the energy starts to die down a little bit. You can start to go within more, and you don't have to be as busy. You maybe aren't taking as many action steps towards things. And then when the moon is dark, this is really a time to go inward and do some of that dream work, connect with your intuition, really pay attention to some of the hidden aspects of yourself and the world around you. But let's move on to the last card. This is the card for the weekend. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And here we have Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is what I call, it sometimes has like a competitive sort of energy. Whenever I see this card, I think of working in an environment where you're competing with your colleagues and you're constantly trying to prove yourself and get a leg up and hold on to your position, hold on to the respect that people have for you. Another thing with this card, another message I get is that at the end of the week, it's going to be really important for you to stand your ground with something and really stand up for yourself. You may feel attacked or criticized or like you're just expected to prove yourself in some way. And sometimes this is legitimate. Sometimes this is just the mindset we're in, and how we feel isn't necessarily a reflection of what is. And that's something to keep in mind when you feel defensive or you feel like you need to prove yourself and stand your ground. Sometimes that's just the way you're looking at things, and you maybe don't have to prove yourself as much as you think you do. Because oftentimes I think when we are proving ourselves and standing up for ourselves, we're doing it more to prove something to ourselves than to others. So that's something to maybe ask yourself if you're feeling defensive, if you're feeling criticized by people in your life, are they actually criticizing you, or are you perceiving their words or behavior as a criticism? Because there is a difference. What else do I want to say about this card? I feel like the message is, stand up for what you believe in, stand up for yourself, stand your ground, don't let others push you around, but there's no need to really get your hackles up or to be super defensive. That's just going to drain your energy. So there's a difference between standing your ground, defending yourself, and being defensive. Yeah, there's a difference between standing up for yourself and being, overly defensive. Okay, so let's just briefly look at all three cards. I just want to see if there's anything else jumping out at me. And I always invite you to do the same. So, together, let's look at these cards and see if there's anything we're noticing, any themes, symbols, is there anything jumping out? I already pointed out the similarities between these two cards, and I'm still not 100% sure what to make of these two cards and their similarities. So I invite you to have a look and see what comes up for you. And if you feel like sharing, please feel free to do so in the comments. I think overall, this is a week where we're going to be not so much setting goals, but planting seeds, starting some new things. And as we do that, I think it's important to always acknowledge our inner realms and the parts of ourselves that, we can't always see, that is not always obvious. All right, so this has been your weekly tarot card reading. My name's Kate. You can find out more about learning how to read tarot cards on my website, dailytarotgirl.com. And if you like this video, I post these every week, so please feel free to subscribe to my channel, like my video, leave a comment if you feel inspired to. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Thanks for watching.